Okay, we're excited to be here for our Thursday night class. And guys, I love teaching with these two of my greatest of friends. So let me just introduce myself. My name is Jared Jarvis. I'm here today with Ronee Brummett and Leanne Mason. You guys know we come to this channel and this place on a real regular basis to do classes, to teach, and we have a lot of fun doing it. So tonight's going to be no different. We're going to have a lot of fun, and we hope that you are going to join us not only live but in the recording.
Yeah, I want to let you know that we are not doctors. We cannot diagnose or treat. We are educators and we love sharing our information, not only the stuff in our brain, but where to find the information so that you have it at your fingertips. Tonight's class is super exciting. Leanne, what are we talking about tonight?
We are talking about essential oils for wherever you are. So, whether you are a beginner or somewhere in between or an expert, we want to show you different resources that are available to support you on your holistic wellness journey. So, we're going to start with some of our basics, right? What is the most important thing to the two of you when choosing essential oil products? Jared.
Say, you know what? That quality makes all the difference. Knowing where these oils are sourced from, because out there in the world, we know that there's a lot of essential oils. You see them everywhere. In fact, I was at the dollar store and saw them on the shelf at the dollar store. And I thought, you know what? There is I'm just going to say 100% chance that those oils were not good. And just, I mean, it's no judgment other than just to say this is what it is, and we talk truth and we talk reality, and understanding the nature of doTERRA's standard, the CPTG, which is certified pure tested grade, ensures that if I'm going to put it in me, on me, around me, in terms of aromatic, topical, or internal use, I want to be able to know that what I'm using for myself as well as for my family is of that type.
Perfect. Rone.
Uh, not only CPTG, so that keeps us making sure we're using oil safely, but that the farmers that are growing the oils are being properly paid. If you're buying your oils from the dollar store, I can guarantee you those farmers are not being paid properly. Like that is huge for me. So purity, quality, potency, integrity
Oh,
is
I love that.
really big for
So,
me.
when I was going through my essential oil coaching program, I was using doTERRA essential oils. And in the coaching program, they said, we're not going to tell you what oils to use. You need to understand where they're coming from, their sourcing, their testing, and if you align with the company. And so I started digging in deeper and realized that I actually had made the best choice for me and my family because of the quality, the purity, the testing, and all of those things. So if you have not researched, do your research. Go to sourcetoyou.com and that will show you where these oils come from, purity, the sourcing. Roseman University. Go to Roseman University and research essential oils. You will see some of the studies that they have done. And so that just reconfirmed that the products that I was using are the ones that I align with. So Jared alluded to the three ways to use them. So I'm going to talk a little bit about topical. Now, topical is that putting it on your skin, right? Or putting it on a passive diffuser, using it topically in your hair. One of the things that I want to talk about up front is carrier oil. Now, a lot of times people are like, well, you have to dilute everything. There are oils that it's safe to use neat, but what the carrier oil does is it allows you to get a larger surface area covered when you're applying topically, and it reduces the flash off. Now, flash off is how quickly it evaporates. So you're wanting to get it into your skin, so you don't want it to evaporate. So I forgot to grab my lotion, but a good doTERRA has an amazing unscented body lotion that I love using as a carrier oil, but they also have their body carrier oil or just fractionated coconut oil. Why fractionated coconut oil, Jared? Oh, Jared muted himself.
Okay. So fractionated coconut oil is one of my favorite carrier oils to use. And part of the reason why is it helps it to actually maintain the integrity of the aroma. Fractionated coconut oil does not have a scent to it itself. And I remember at one point my dad called me up and says, I want, fractionated coconut oil. He was so excited when he got it. He opened it up and he was disappointed because it didn't smell like coconut. I thought, you know what? That was on me for not properly educating. So it's kind of a you know, blank canvas for these use of essential oils. But for me also, one of the things that I love about fractionated coconut oil is that because the fats have been rendered out of it, it's not an oil that's going to go rancid. And so it's just a great carrier. It's smooth, it's clean, and I've had fantastic um, experiences with it over and over.
It's also liquid at room temperature where coconut oil is solid. So if you want to make your own blends, like I've made this really fun blend here, it you can use the fractionated coconut oil as your carrier oil.
Awesome. Okay, one of the most common uses for essential oils is aromatic. And there is a whole therapy using aromatherapy, right? So, Ronay, how does it work aromatically?
Aromatically is fun. And I will tell you that all of our essential oils can be used aromatically and topically. Most can be used a different way, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But aromatically is, if you know about aromatherapy, right? That's where you're smelling something and it just like it brings you back to a memory or it calms everything. And how that works is you have an amygdala. You actually have two. They're about the size and shape of an almond, one for each side of your brain. And your amygdala is your emotional center. Fastest way to your amygdala is through the olfactory senses. So you breathe it in, goes to your amygdala, down your pituitary, your thyroid, your parathyroid, your hypothalamus, and your whole limbic system goes. And see how I kind of stressed you out there, right? And that's what's happening is we are typically in these stress cycles, which we're going to talk about a lot more next week. So just a little teaser. Um, but if we want to calm those stressors that are happening very quickly, put a drop of oil in your hand, rub your hands together, and just breathe deeply. And it just helps your limbic system to send out the right signals to calm everything down.
I love that. My favorite way aromatically is in a diffuser. I know, Jared, I want you to share what your favorite way to use them aromatically is.
Well, of course, I love diffusers. I've got diffusers around me in my house, in my car. But one of my other favorite ways, I consider it self-diffusing. I put a little, well, this was wild orange right now. I will use citrus bliss as well. So I'll put a little bit in the palm of my hands. I'll actually run it through my hair a little bit. And that's just a great way. I end up catching whiffs of it all day long. It's fantastic and easy way to be able to do that. Also, self-diffusing, putting it in the palm of my hands, rubbing my hands together, and then just deep breathing. Breathing that in is a profound way to have some fantastic benefits. And if you want to have a quick experience with an essential oil, especially these ones, and be able to know without a doubt that they are potent and have an impact, breathing that in that way is one of the fastest ways.
Perfect. I forgot with topical to give a little bit of a disclaimer. When using citrus oils, you do not want to use them topically on your skin that is going to be in the sun because those citrus oils can make you a little photosensitive. So Jared putting it in his hair is safe as long as he doesn't massage that into his scalp. because you don't want to burn the top of your scalp. So it's just running it through your hair, right? Jared, let's talk about internal because we've already talked about certified pure tested grade. So why is it that doTERRA essential oils can be used internally if they're properly labeled that way?
So, much of essential oils actually goes back to Ayurvedic, what's considered Ayurvedic medicine.
Can
And
you lean closer to your microphone? You're a little hard to hear.
okay, so a lot of essential oils go back to an understanding of Ayurvedic medicine. It's quite interesting if we consider an essential oil like a plant. It is. And when we consider that it's a plant, something like wild orange, if you think about an orange peel, squeeze that, get that little zest from it. That's essentially what the wild orange essential oil is. And it's interesting when it's in this format because a little bit, first off, goes a long way. And we've got Leanne here, our guru when it comes to cooking. And if you haven't been able to participate in and learn from her, some of her classes on cooking, that's a fantastic class. But one of the really cool things is on this label of wild orange. If I turn this just a little bit, you can see that the label actually says supplemental fats. Now, those supplement fats that are on that bottle is exactly what's telling me that this is an essential oil that I can absolutely take. And it's labeled to that end. And so this is something I have absolutely no hesitation putting a drop or two in my drinking water. You're going to do that, put it into your drinking water. You don't want to put it in a plastic water bottle and that. You always want to use glass, stainless steel, or a high quality ceramic. Those are important. You definitely don't want to use styrofoam or plastic. I mean, we're trying to make sure we're putting the good things into our bodies, and that could result in some other things being added into our system. But it's really cool to be able to see that we can do it that way. But you know what? I can also, if for example, the flavor of one of these might be a bit strong for me, I could put it into a little capsule and swallow it down that way. So that's a good way to be able to take a hotter oil like oregano. And again, a little bit goes a long, long way.
Perfect. All right. So we just want to give you some resources of where to get started wherever you are in your journey. So I'm going to share my screen. And one of my favorite places to go, doTERRA always has great things popping up on their homepage, right? You can explore their top products right now. I love that. There's information on convention. But today, where we're actually going to go is right up here to Discover. Now, in Discover, there's event information, also that sourcing trip, incentive trips, all other events, and the doTERRA blog. But what I want to focus on today is actually under product education and this Discover Solutions. Wherever you are on your essential oil journey, there is something you can learn from Discover Solutions or the education piece right underneath it. So we're going to click on Discover Solutions. I'm going to show you in each of these segments, there are learn at your own pace classes that you can do. And these all go along with the doTERRA wellness lifestyle, personal care and beauty, our kids, reducing toxic load. Now, that is our bodies and also our cleaning supplies. Eating right. Jared talked about how I love teaching cooking with essential oils. There's also digestion and gut health. The importance of supplementation. The foundation of a wellness lifestyle is proper food and supplementation. That is key. If you don't understand that, reach out to one of us and let us do a wellness consult with you and walk you through the doTERRA wellness lifestyle, and why it's important to have that foundation. Overall lifestyle things goes back to cooking, natural cleaning, a bug-free summer, which is super important for many of us right now, diffusing with essential oils, informed self-care. Now, Ronay, what is informed self-care?
Informed self-care is where you are really figuring out what is working for you, like how to manage your stress, how to put proper nutrition in your body. It's like the next step. You want to bring this information. Like, let's say you go to your doctor and they give you information. You want to also research that and really understand it for yourself.
I love
Hopefully,
that.
hopefully that was the answer you were looking
That
for.
exactly, exactly. Um, then there's the importance of exercise, building muscle, energy and motivation, muscle and joints, natural energy, and then the metabolic support. Then there's mood management. Each of these areas is important to overall wellness. Then there is sleep. Again, each of these build on themselves. Then there will be product recommendations down below. Another thing I love to do, inform self-care, right? Learn a little bit about each of the systems of the body and how these products can support those systems of the body. So that's just a really great way to do some of the education.
Yeah,
Now,
can I jump in here real quick?
of
That's actually
course,
the things I wanted to talk about is we can say you can use air oils aromatically, topically, internally, but we never really talked about why we want to do this. And this is one of my favorite things to teach people is we are, first off, we're not doctors, we can't diagnose or treat. We're not gonna, but when you understand your body and you understand your body systems and you understand about nutrition, this is super important. I, I had somebody who came up to me at a booth once and he's like, "What is the one thing that is going to fix me?" And I was like, first off, there's not one thing. Well, I have this. And my first question was, how much water do you drink? And he's like, what do you mean? You need to have water in your system. You need to be fueling your body with proper food, right? And essential oils are food. That's what they are. They are the immune system of a plant. Plants are carbon-based and we're carbon-based. Everything in nature has a left and a right. So as you are eating something, it comes in this way and your body has receptors and it grabs on like this. Or it comes in this way and your body has receptors. And it's so cool because your body goes, ooh, nutrition. I know what to do with this. Things that are man-made usually are derived from plants. Remember, plants are carbon-based, we're carbon-based, but if you derive it from plants and you synthesize it, you get chirality, which is a mirrored image. And so your body's expecting this and it comes in this way, and the receptors grab on like this. And now we have open receptors, or maybe it even grabs on like this, right? So we aren't quite having the receptors all correct. And then you get side effects. Your body says, well, we're kind of going to accept this, but since you have these open receptors, we're going to give you these wonky little side effects, which can be more irritating than why you were taking something man-made to begin with. But essential oils, again, are the immune system. The plants are carbon-based. We're carbon-based. It comes in this way or it comes in this way. And your body says, ooh, nutrition. I know what to do with this. And when your body's nutritionally fed, your body heals itself. And that's the coolest part. So using these amazing essential oils, again, doTERRA only is because of the CPTG, it's going to work differently than oils that are not good, high, perfect, pure quality. Also, where oils are sourced from is super important because if you take a plant from its native soil and you plant it in different soil, you change the chemical makeup of that plant. It changes the good things about it. So doTERRA also makes sure that the plants are planted in the proper soil to get the most therapeutic value out of it, the most nutritional value from those oils. So if we teach you nothing else today, I want you to remember this. When your body is nutritionally fed, your body heals itself. Okay.
Love that. Okay, so the next important thing to understand, because I've been talking a lot about the wellness lifestyle, right? So the foundation of that, just like Renee said, is nutrition, proper nutrition and digestion. Then we need movement and metabolism. We need proper rest and stress management. We need to reduce the toxic load coming in from processed foods, chemicals, and unfortunately, the environment. We need informed self care. That means we know what we need to do to take care of ourselves, which truly, I kind of laugh a little bit when I do this with a lot of people because informed self care is how well are you doing on these lower levels, right? How well are you doing? Um, and many of us put everyone else first. And I want to go back to the analogy that when we're on an airplane, they always say, put your mask on first and then help others. It is the same with all of these other levels. You have to be doing them for yourself first before you can help your family. Then the last one is proactive healthcare. Now, when we're talking about proactive healthcare, that means you have a partnership with those that are part of your medical team. Whether you choose a natural path or you have another medical team. I had a really great experience today as my daughter and I went to establish with a new endocrine clinic. My endocrinologist retired, and I don't look forward to new doctors because, as an essential oil coach and with the lifestyle that I live, many don't always agree with my approach. And it was so refreshing to have him say, for too long, we have taken oh, you have this is what we do. And he's like, I believe we need to go back to individualized care. And I loved that. That was like, yes. And he started looking at my labs and started looking at some things. And he's like, you're going through some hormonal changes. Yes, I am. And so he gave me some different options and then why this option, and this option could better support what I'm going through with my hormones. But he also said, or you could just try this, and this. Something I had never even considered, you guys, is he said, do you realize as you have hormonal changes, different foods might react different in your body than they ever have before? He said, you may need more fruits than you were doing before because your body needs those. And I'm like, oh, fruits before I would go up super high and then drop. And he's like, but as you have hormonal changes, your body might need it different. He also recommended that I do a few things before I eat to support and then move for 10 to 15 minutes after I eat to get my metabolism working a little bit better. Things that I know as a coach, but it was refreshing to have an actual medical professional lining up with the things that I teach as a wellness coach. So, proactive medical care is already knowing a lot of information for yourself. So, you don't just go in and go, well, the doctor said so. It was refreshing. So, finding the right medical care that aligns with where you are on that journey is key. So, I'm going to share my screen one more time. And we are going to go back to the doTERRA website. Apparently, it didn't want me to share my screen. Let's try again. I love technology. It's great when it works. When we're talking about foundational wellness, the foundation of ours is our VMG, which is vitamins, minerals, greens, and superfoods. That's what the plus is. Combined with our E omegas, which is sourced in the Nordic Sea, the highest quality omegas, powered by wild orange essential oil, which then just makes it more bioavailable and better for our bodies. Our PB Restore is our probiotic. It's got pre and probiotics and helps with that microbiome. We teach classes on this, but that is like foundation to good nutrition. If you are not cooking from scratch, I highly recommend start with one recipe or two and get away as much as possible from highly processed foods. So, one of the other great places is the doTERRA blog. The doTERRA blog, oh, that's fascinating. So, we're going to take it and go to it a different way. Tap in here in the search bar. You can search for anything you possibly want. So I'm going to do a search for men's health because that's not something we. Okay, I love when the doTERRA website does its own thing. Technology is great. So when you search men, I went just men, I'm going to do men's health. There are over 143 products on the doTERRA product line to support men's health. There are 131 blogs and 89 others. So I'm going to do a on blogs. There are some hot product highlights for products that don't exist anymore. So do look at the dates and stick to ones that are closer to now because some of these products, I love the AromaVibe line. Unfortunately, it's not available anymore. Dr. Hill's inspirational messages are always timeless. And then you can go down and search all results because you can see doTERRA's blog is having problems. But we will contact them and let them know their blog is having problems. Okay, when you go to the other category, we're going to do hormones this time. Okay, we're not going to show the doTERRA website anymore. Renee is laughing. You know, you guys, we will tell you. There are great resources, and there are times the technology does not work.
Yep.
So
let's talk about some stuff that always works.
Yeah.
Having some great books in your library. Okay. There are, unfortunately, the one I just pulled up, they no longer make, but Modern Essentials, they do make. This is why you get the books while they're making them. Because if you have these books in your library, they're amazing because you can always you can look up the oils, buy the oils and like read about each oil, their properties, what they do, or you can look up by symptom. And that's a really great way because then it will tell you several different oils that can work. It puts it in categories of this is the primary one we suggest, here is a secondary, or here's some other choices. And there is an amazing reason for that. One of my favorite examples is I have one of my sons who he has a really wonky system and his body doesn't work the same as everybody else. And what's cool is oils are adaptogenic. They're going to work in your body differently than they work in my body. And for this kiddo, for most people, if you have a headache, you can put a little peppermint oil here, across here, maybe the back of your neck, or breathe it in, and it will help to release that head tension. But this kiddo, when he smells peppermint, he's like, oh, like that hurts my head. But something like wild orange actually helps relieve that tension for him. So his are usually emotionally based, is what I've figured out from that, right? So having the different options, or if you're a person like me who cannot stand the smell of patchouli and your primary choice they say is patchouli and you're like, yeah, I don't think so. It gives you other options, which is absolutely phenomenal because no one should ever have to use patchouli if they don't want to.
That's perfect. So we hope we gave you some ideas in this class. I apologize for the technical issues. You never know what's going to happen. One of the things that we want to encourage you is to sign up for our newsletter. We send out monthly emails talking about the specials of the month that doTERRA has, also a list of all of our classes so that you can attend, and additional blog posts that we may have put together to support you. This week, we have a beginner's guide, which has a doTERRA ebook in it for essential oils for beginners. The Live guide that does talk about um, the wellness pyramid. And then there are two safety guides, the essential oil safety guide and the essential oil safety guide for kids. Also talks about the top 3 oils, lavender, peppermint, and lemon, that have many different uses. So thank you for joining us. We hope you found this informational. Comment or contact us if you would like a free wellness consult where we can do a one-on-one and help you utilize the essential oil products from doTERRA that you already have in your home so that you are using them. Any last thoughts?
Come to class. We have a great time. Now, after we turn off the recording is when we have even more fun because if you are here live, you get to ask us questions and we answer them as completely as we can.
Thanks for joining us. I'm going to go back to full view for those of us that are presenting. Have a good night.